Hey everyone, let's talk unit rates. So, rate or a ratio is what we talk about when we have any two things relating to each other, right? A rate or ratio is comparing two data points, essentially. So, for example, we have miles per hour is an example of a rate, right? The number of miles, the number of hours, and we can see how they compare to each other, okay? So a unit rate is a special kind of rate that only has a denominator or second number of 1, okay? So as I mentioned before, miles per hour, so it would be specifically 1 hour. Or dollars per pound if you're talking about buying deli meat at the grocery store. Or even if it's just a non-specific rate like 12 to 2, this would be a rate, whereas 6 to 1 would be the unit rate. That second number needs to be a 1 in a unit rate because unit is talking about 1. So let's go over some examples. We have 70 miles in 2 hours. So what I want to do is I want to turn this into a unit rate. I want to know how many miles in 1 hour. So I'm going to set this up as a fraction. Let's see here. I have 70 miles over 2 hours. Now to simplify this, I can do one of two things. I can divide both of these by 2. And 70 divided by 2 is 35 miles per hour. So this is a unit rate. My other option, and this may come in handy sometimes when I am dealing with unit rates, when I have a unit rate and I want to find something else, we'll talk more about those in another lesson. I can say 70 miles per 2 hours, and then I have 1 hour because I know that my unit rate always needs to be there, and then X miles, and then I can do cross multiplication. Now, I don't encourage cross multiplication. I think it is very often extra steps that we don't need to do, but this will get you to the right answer, and it may be useful sometimes if you have a unit rate and you're trying to find an additional number, okay? So 70 times 1 equals 2 times x, and then we still end up dividing by 2 on both sides, and 70 divided by 2 is 35 miles per hour. All right, so let's take a look at miles per gallon. So let's say there's 360 miles in 9 gallons. You were driving your car, and you went 360 miles while driving 9 gallons. It's a pretty good rate here, not gonna lie, but we're gonna take 360 and divide it by 9 so I can get that 1 in the denominator. MPG, you may have heard that term before. So I'm going to take 360 and divide it by 9. For the record, you are welcome to use a calculator in this lesson. Okay, you can use a calculator. That is fine with me. I'm not testing you on your division skills at this moment. I want to know, do you know how to find a unit rate? Okay, so 360 divided by 9 gives me 40 miles per gallon, 40 mpg. Okay? All right, give those a shot yourself. We have 120 miles in 3 hours and 64 miles in 4 gallons. Find the unit rate, please. And then continue the video. All right, another example. We have cost per pound. Say we're at the grocery store and I would like to buy something that costs $4.50 for 3 pounds. I want to know what is the cost for 1 pound. We often will use this kind of situation at the store to be able to compare prices and to be able to see, hey, which one is the better deal, okay? So that's why we would often see unit rates in our regular everyday life. We can take the price of an item, and figure out how much it costs for a single unit to be able to compare it with another item that's similar and see what the cost is for the same unit. Okay, so I will take this and I'll say, all right, $4.50 for 3 pounds. So I'm going to divide 450 by 3, which is of course $1.50 per pound. Okay. All right, I want you to give it a shot now. $25 for 20 pounds. And which one's the better deal then? Which is the better deal? The $25 for 20 pounds or the $4.50 for 3 pounds? Or that one. Okay, so figure this out and then decide which one's the better deal. Continue on after this. There's more to go. All right, so we have complex fractions. Complex fractions are a fraction within a fraction. Within a fraction. Sometimes it is a fraction in the numerator and in the denominator. Sometimes it's just in one of those, but it is a fraction. So like a number over a number divided by another number, or a number divided by a fraction, or a number divided by a number over a number divided by a number. So a quick reminder, because this is going to come in really important, is that we are essentially dividing. Because remember, this symbol here means division. We've talked about this a lot over the last several months. A fraction bar is another synonymous situation with division. So remember how to divide fractions to be able to simplify these. A fraction division is a keep, change, flip, or keep, change, reciprocal. In other words, reciprocal. There we go. This is the fancy schmancy term that I do want you to know, but flip is going to get the job done. So we're going to keep the first number. So we have a number divided by a number. We change the sign to multiplication, and then we flip it before we do our last part of the division. Okay? Let's take a look at some examples. So first of all, we have 1/2 divided by 3, or 1/2 over 3. We have this fraction divided by another fraction. And we'll see this with unit rates, which is why it comes in really handy, right? So we have 1/2 over 3. So it's 1/2 divided by 3, essentially. Now, to be able to flip this last one, I do want to make sure I have this in fraction form. So I'm just going to put that over 1. If you recall that anything can be divided by 1 and keep the same value, so we want to make sure that we use that as our denominator if I need to place 1 in there. So I'm going to keep the first term, change that to multiplication, and flip the last one to 1/3. And then I'm simply going to multiply across. 1 times 1, of course, is 1, and 2 times 3 is 6, giving us 1/6 as our answer. Our other example here, we have 8 divided by 2/3, or 8 over 2/3. So I have my 8 divided by 2/3. I need to remember to make this into a fraction because I'm still going to keep it, but I need to know what it is to be able to simplify and finish the multiplication then. So I have 8 over 1 times 3 over 2. Now in this case, I can simplify. So I can simplify before or after. I'm going to simplify before because I like to. 8 and 2 can both be divided by 2. I get 4. I get 1. And then I multiply across. 4 times 3 is 12. 1 times 1 is 1. And my final answer is simply 12. All right, it's your turn to try. So we have 7/5 over 1/5. And we have 6 over 3/8. Remember to keep, change, flip, and simplify if you can. One of them you can, the other one you cannot, because it should be a whole number. So let's see what we get. Make sure to show your work on the paper and get your work checked. There's one more practice problem after this, so come back for more. All right, so bonus problem. This is not on the notes, but it's still an important one. So, if your car has a 40 mpg rate and you have a 16-gallon tank, how many miles can you get on one tank of gas? Now, here is where I was talking about that proportion would come in handy, okay? So, your car has a rate of 40 miles per gallon. So, we have 40 miles per 1 gallon. But we want to know how many miles, question mark miles, so X miles, for 1 tank of gas. You have a 16-gallon tank, so it's 16 gallons. Okay? Now, in this case, you do not need to do cross multiplication. I can simplify. If I look at these numbers, if I set these up, I have X over 16 equals 40 over 1, which is just 40, right? I can simplify that to 40. And I'm going to use my inverse operation. So I'm going to get rid of the 16 by multiplying by 16 because that will cancel out. But if I multiply by 16 on one side, I got to multiply by 16 on the other side. And X is equal to 40 times 16. Now 40 times 16, so I'm going to set this up. I'm going to put the 40 on the bottom purely because I want to multiply it across. I get my 0 because it's a placeholder for my ones place, and 4 times 6 is 24, so I'm going to carry that 2, and 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2, which is 6. So I get 640 miles that I can drive on 1 tank of gas because 1 tank is 16 gallons. Make sure you jot that answer into the screen, into the guide puzzle, and then you can go ahead and get yourself ready for your mastery challenge. Good luck.